Hello, hello.
Good morning.
Hey guys. Hello. We are the fourth quarter storytellers, and we are so happy to be here this morning. Let us introduce ourselves first of all. My name is Cynthia Merritt, and I am 60-ish years old, and I found myself approaching that retirement age with no substantial savings. And I was thinking about the possibility of having to live on Social Security. Oh my gosh. So we're going to talk about some things. If you guys are in this situation, know anybody in this situation that might help you out. Okay, Val.
Thank you. Well, I'm Valerie Davis, and I'm 53 years old, not quite yet ready for retirement, but found myself unemployed, as I'm sure there's some others out there. Found myself unemployed and trying to figure out the next step, especially with my savings. How far can my savings go? What type of savings do I have? What type of savings do I need? So that's why we're here today to talk all about it.
Okay, all right. So in this community, we talk about, first of all, we are building community for like-minded individuals, and we're sharing information on not just financial things like savings and investing and things like that, but also about health and wellness. And we were just talking about some information a minute ago, Val and I were, and lifestyle options, and also financial improvement, what we were just talking about, some travel and relocation tips as well.
Yeah.
But this is a safe place, you guys. No judgment in this community. And Brene Brown always says, for shame to grow, it needs secrecy, silence, and judgment. So we have none of that here. So shame's not growing up in this camp.
Absolutely not.
So please share all praise reports of accomplishments on your journey. We want to hear about them all. You can put them in the comments, but we're going to go ahead and get started with today's topic, which is start saving at 50 plus. And I am giving everyone a call to action. First of all, there's one thing I do want to give you, because this needs to be done. We everyone needs to call your state senator
Mhm.
and leave a message for him or her to save Social Security.
Yes.
And the way they can do that, and when I called John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, I left them both a message and sent them an email. But I didn't just ask them to save Social Security. I actually gave them the how to do it. I told them what to do. So, and they both responded to me and thanked me very much. And so
Awesome.
I know, I hope they do it.
Here's
But
the
anyway,
sentence.
I'm gonna give you guys a phone number, and this is what the solution is. When you ask them to save Social Security, just tell them the whole solution is simply to raise the FICA cap. You know how when you get that check, you
Yeah.
look at your deductions, you see FICA. FICA takes some of your money every time you get paid.
Yeah.
And if they raise the cap for FICA, because people who make under $176,000 a year pay FICA for every paycheck. People
Mhm.
who make above $176,000 a year pay no FICA.
Mhm.
These are millionaires, billionaires, no
Mhm.
FICA. If everyone, and it's 6.2%, you guys, 6.2%. So if everyone paid their fair share of FICA, Social Security will be safe and secure for our children's children, their children, through the generations. We won't even have to worry about it anymore if everyone pays their FICA. That's all. Just raise the cap. Don't cap it at 176. So here's the phone number. If you guys are listening, write it down. It's area code 202
Mhm.
224 3121 3121. That's 202 224 3124. That, I mean, 21 3121. That
Mhm.
is the line for the government. and you'll be able to, select your senator's name. So you need to find out your senator's name, and it will direct you to their voicemail. And you can let them know your name, you're one of their constituents, and this is what you're calling for. Okay? So that's the call to action for everyone. Okay? Because we got to save the
That,
Social Security. There are too many people who are living on Social Security, and it's a scary thing when if that's going to be going away, and that's
mhm,
all you have.
that's
So,
true.
hmm
That puts fear in people. Then they're scattered and not knowing what to do and how to do. And then now that brings on a type of anxiety that we talked about from before.
absolutely,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. And right now, this climate that we're in, we're in these unprecedented times. We do not need to be stressed out, bringing health issues upon our physical bodies.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yep, yep, yep. So now we're approaching the retirement age, and we are looking to catch up if we're behind with our savings, of
Hmm.
course, investments also, and then maximizing our retirement accounts. So we're going to give you some tips for people over 50 to boost our retirement savings.
Hmm.
So the first thing I'm going to talk about is catch up contributions. So the IRS allows 50 plus people to make additional contributions for your retirement accounts. And this is known as catch up contributions. So if you do have a 401k, which I hope, if you're working a job, I hope they have a 401k for you. Or if you're in the education field, you'll have a 403b, then you'll be able to, at 50 plus years old, do those catch up contributions. So just be sure to ask to call the IRS and let them know that that's something you're trying to do, and they will,
Right.
definitely put you in that direction. The next thing is delaying Social Security. So if you don't have to take your Social Security benefits at age 62, don't.
Yeah.
Because if you take them at 62, they are going to be the amount that is listed on your Social Security statement. And how Social Security does your indexes your amount is they take the top 35 years of your earnings throughout your lifetime, the top amount of the top 35 years of your earnings, and then they index that, and that's where your amount comes from that you're getting every month when you start taking your Social
Mm.
Security. Hmm
That's good to know.
Yeah, honey, I have studied this Social Security. But and I have a story to tell quickly as soon as I finish this statement. But yeah, don't take it if you don't have to at 62,
Hmm.
because it's going to raise, and you should have, if you go to everybody should have an account set up, and if you don't, go to ssa.gov and create your Social Security account. Your information is already going to be in there once you enter your Social Security number. They've already got all your earnings throughout your lifetime, and you'll see your top 35 years. And it's going to give you the amount of your Social Security check when you start getting it at 62,
Sure.
and then at 63, 64, 60, and you'll see how it increases. Your top earning, your top earning year to retire, your full retirement will be 67. So if you can hang on, well, no, it'll be 70. They did
70.
increase it to
Yeah.
70.
Hmm.
67 will be, much more than 62. But if you can hang on for 5 more years, that'll be good. But if you can go to 70, then that's going to be your full, payment for retirement. Now, takes me back to where we're talking about the health bell,
Yeah.
the physical and the mental. You want to make sure you're taking care of yourself, because you don't want to get to 67 or 70 and you're only good for another year or two, and you waited till that long, because when they started Social Security back in, I think it was 1935, they
Uh-huh.
started Social Security, and when they started it, they were thinking the average lifespan was 65 or 67,
Oh, wow.
and now we're living into our 90s.
Yeah.
So what they were thinking is, oh, when these people retire, they only have a few years we have to keep paying them all this money.
Mhm.
But now we're living until 90s, 80s and 90s.
Yes, yes.
So we have a lot longer. So push it out if you can, but
Mhm.
keep yourself healthy. And that way you'll be able to enjoy the benefits and
That's so true.
get the more pay, the larger pay.
Mhm.
Yep, yep, yep.
Mhm.
So I was going to say, because I studied the Social Security system, and a closed mouth does not get fed. And I actually applied for my widow's benefits. My husband was a victim of gun violence, so he was killed in 1998.
Mhm.
And so I just found out after studying the benefits that I was eligible for survivor's benefits. So I applied for them. And when I called the Social Security Administration, I learned that I knew that from the day that I called in, that's when they should pay me back to. No matter when they approve it, they should go all the way back to my first call. So when they approved me, they called me. We had the interview, and the man told me he said, okay, so we have you approved, and so we'll pay you for the month of
Mhm.
January. And I said, January? Oh no, say it isn't so, because that's not the way this is happening up in here today. Because
Oh, no.
I know. I said, no, because I know that it actually should go back to the date that I called into the
Mhm.
office.
Uh-huh.
And so now it's January. So actually I should be paid for November and December. And so he
Mhm.
said, hold on, let me do my calculations. And he came back and he said, okay, Miss Merritt, we'll be sending you a check for November and December, and then you'll get January and February. I said, okay, that sounds more like it.
See, exactly, and because you knew it, what if someone
Yes,
didn't know? And,
that's why.
yeah,
Yes, Val.
you
That's
gotta do
why
your
this is.
research.
We've got to do the research and know what we're talking about. Because
Mhm.
when we can correct them, and what I had found out from my source is that most people working on front line with customer service, um, way to know yourself. I know that's
Yeah.
right. I'm looking at the comments, but yeah, most people, the Social Security workers, do
Mhm.
not know all the rules. So when you can enlighten them and
Oh.
give them your source from where you receive that information,
Mhm.
then they'll go back and check. And he checked, and I checked that boo.
I
Okay,
I like that.
I know. Okay,
Oh
so
my
next is maximizing other retirement accounts. So, in addition to your 401k and your IRAs, there's also tax advantage retirement health savings accounts. And those can be used for retirement healthcare cost savings, and they can be used for healthcare, you know, costs if you need to do that. But
Mhm.
what you do is you simply deposit into that healthcare savings account, and it can be
Mhm.
used as a savings account or a retirement account, or if you need to use it for healthcare expenses as well. And if you're self-employed, this is something that you can get as well. You can get a
Yeah.
401k that is a solo 401k, or if you're self-employed, get a SEP IRA, because those have higher contribution limits. So then you're able to deposit more into the savings and the 401ks.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay.
Alright, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you. Those
Okay.
were some good tips, Cynthia.
I know. I know. And
Especially that HSA. I've seen that before, and
yes.
I've seen it with, first of all, I've seen it with my daughter with one of her jobs or whatever, and I was like, "What's HSA?" And then I saw it with one of my sisters, and then I've seen it more recently. I'm like, "Okay, so that is a good thing to have, and it helps you
Absolutely.
save money, especially when you don't have like a regular medical insurance, healthcare insurance.
Exactly.
It really
Exactly.
helps you save money. So I always ask about those things if they are provided. That's good.
Hmm. That is so true.
Mhm. Yes,
That
ma'am.
is good. Okay, so the next one is increase our savings rate.
Oh yes.
Val, you want to take that one?
Yes, I do. I was waiting for this one, guys. Increased savings rate. So when we have just a few years until our retirement, guys, it's going to become more important. And when I say important, I mean extremely important for us to save aggressively. Any way that you can, any way that you can, you have to be aggressive with your saving. So you will then increase your contributions and finding ways to cut unnecessary expenses. When you cut those unnecessary expenses, that's going to help you to accelerate within your savings. So I can speak to this because I've had to um, cut unnecessary expenses. And you may think they could, little small things are not going to count, but they do. I'm going to start with something very simple and minute. For me, I'm a coffee drinker. Now I can make my own coffee at home, but then we have some that just got to have Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. And sometimes you're paying $7 to $8 a day for a coffee. And if you have a long day, you probably sometimes going to spend that double in one day. You know, cut back on that coffee that you're buying every day. You can save by preparing more meals at home, doing more things at home. If you, when it comes to your household, if you're someone that has someone to come in and clean your home, you can cut expenses that way. All those little monies will add up and it will help you. So those are just things at home. Entertainment, going out, saving some of that money. Of course, we gotta have our cars maintenance. We got to do maintenance on our cars, so that's a given. But when it comes to washing your car, detailing your cars, you can do those little things at home. So all those are little ways that you can save money for yourself, and that little pot becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, so you want to cut unnecessary spending. Um, Women, ladies, we know we love to get our hair done. We love to get our hair done. I used to get my hair done every 2 weeks, and I sat back and look at how much money I was spending on getting my hair done every 2 weeks. Learn to just kind of learn how to do things on your own, even if it's just washing and trimming your hair, things of that nature. Those sort of things. Learning how to do your nails, and you may not do them like they do them at San Juan shop, but you learn how to do little things that you can do for at home for your nails and your pedicure, your feet. Also with facials, learning how to do your facials. And I've seen that it's a big thing where people are going out getting makeup done every weekend for something they may have. Learn how to do your own makeup, learn how to do your lashes, your eyebrows, a lot of those things where you can just cut back on. I know it's sounding more for the women, but I kind of think that we spend most of the money, and we
We
need
do.
to, yeah, so we need to kind of scale back from that and think about our savings as we're getting older so we can have that money in a pot for our retirement. Okay. Um, there's also, like for me, if probably old school, but if I have a $20 bill and if I pay for something with that $20, that change I get back, I put them in separate envelopes and I keep them. I showed Cynthia earlier what I put those in. I have these envelopes. There's one entitled savings. There's one entitled IRS. There's one entitled maintenance for car. And I take that, I split it up and put it into each envelope. I put into each envelope. Now, a couple of years ago, I had to grab from those envelopes, and I end up having with 2 years of saving within those envelopes. When I had to take from those envelopes, I had a little over $2,000 that came for $2,000, and I was like,
Wow.
whoa. Wasn't thinking about it, just putting all the low
Right.
ones in here, fives in here, tens in here. So there are ways that you can save your money. Those pennies would add up, those dimes will add up, those fives will add up, those tens will add up. So just kind of like pull back and increase your savings so you can use that towards your retirement, um, or something that may be needed later on, but you want to think about those things as you get closer, closer, closer to your retirement age. All right. Increasing your savings rate is so important. Everything that you
Yes.
think is more important than that at this point in time,
That's not.
over 50, there's nothing more important
That's
than
number one.
saving for
Hmm.
your retirement. That is number one. All
Yep, an
right.
emergency fund.
Yes, ma'am. You got to
It
have it.
is. It is. And another thing
Mhm.
too that I have done with my savings and it's really helped me, and it's just really enlightened me too. It's
Mhm.
how much money I was spending, but I was one of those with the nails, and now I've just gone back to my normal nails, and I'm like, why was I even getting my nails done
Mhm.
like that?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
but the thing I have done is cut off all of the unnecessary subscriptions.
That.
Honey, yes, I
Yeah.
had Hulu, I had Netflix, I had um, Prime, Amazon Prime. I mean, all of them. Then Amazon, just Amazon regular, all of them, you know. And I've
Mhm.
cut so many of them out, and it's like, why was I spending all that money? And I don't even watch that much TV.
Exactly. I watch one
I
thing,
know, I know.
and
So
when you
it's,
sit back and you look at it, it's like you're saying, unnecessary.
mm-hmm.
Do you really utilize it? It's just like shopping, like going
Yes.
to buy clothes just because.
Mm-hmm.
Every other weekend, you wanna go shopping, "Oh, I think I need this," and then you look in your closet, like, "Where did all this stuff come from? I haven't worn this,
Mm-hmm.
and since I didn't even wear this last summer. Here it comes another
No,
summer. I don't wear
I
this
know.
2 winters ago. Here comes another winter."
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you just start to look at that and
I know, I know. And someone posted, it was so funny yesterday on social media. Someone posted, someone help me, please stay out of Marshalls. And I could really relate to that. And I said, I can really relate to that. But what I do now, I don't go in there. I just don't. I don't go to stores. I really don't because I'm trying to save and I'm
Mhm,
trying to do things because I know that when I go into a store like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, things like that,
mhm, mhm.
I walk around, I'm gonna see something that I just have
Right.
to have. And in my mind, I will justify buying it,
Mhm,
even if I'm spending money that I should be putting in savings.
mhm.
So I just don't go in there. I really don't.
So yours is you don't go into stores when you're out. I'm okay. I think I'm a little better with walking in stores. My thing is boutiques. Like when you've started ordering from those online boutiques,
Okay.
they start sending you those
Yes.
emails. Oh my goodness. Oh, honey,
Mhm.
a couple of months ago, I went through and found everything to say unfollow and stop sending and all that type of stuff because when they send them, you're like, oh
Right.
man, okay, I haven't seen anyone with this on, so I want to go ahead
I
and buy this.
know.
So I
Yep.
had to stop a lot of the emails that I was receiving so I wouldn't be like, oh my goodness.
Oh
Um,
yeah. And they get that. They get your footprint on that and then
guess
they
who?
send you everything that you like. And it's like, oh, that's so cute.
Everything. I'm like, just don't look at it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So increase that savings rate. Okay,
Yeah.
then jumping into consider Roth accounts. So if you're in a lower tax bracket, then and you're not expect but you're right now you're in the lower tax bracket, but you are expecting, soon to be getting into a higher bracket during retirement, then you want to focus on your Roth IRAs because those will be tax free for you. And you got Roth 401ks and Roth IRAs. And I have both.
Mhm.
I have a Roth 401k and a Roth IRA on my Fidelity account with my
Okay.
investments.
Hmm.
So, and those are tax fee withdrawals in your retirement. So those are super, super good and beneficial for you.
Okay.
Okay, but Val, I'm gonna let you
Right.
handle paying off that debt, girl.
Woo! Paying off debt, that's important. I'm going through paying off debt. I'm sure a lot of people are, and it's a good thing. So you want to reducing high interest debt like your credit cards and loans, any type of loans that you may have out there. Okay. You can free up additional money that can be funneled into your retirement savings. And that's really important. And the reason that's important is to reduce financial burdens. So if you want to cap some of this off, cut some of this off, it's going to allow you to release those financial burdens for later. All right. So that way you're not reliant on your total retirement savings and you want to cover all debt obligations. So now, paying off your debt, credit cards. I know they say that if you have a long lasting credit card that you probably have for 20, 30 years or whatever, you want to be kind of careful with that credit card, but it doesn't mean that you can't pay it off and have it in good standing. Pay it off, leave it alone. Stop accruing. Stop accruing. Pay all that stuff off. If any loans that you've accumulated, go ahead and pay them off. That interest rate is going to eat you up. It's going to dig into what you really could be saving. Go ahead and pay off those loans. And then what happens, guys, is when you want to pay off those loans and you're calling them and you're being in straight up in communication with them, then sometimes they cut your little deals. And those little deals help.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
about getting the little deals so that you can pay off your debt and have longevity later. So that way that money can here again go towards your retirement, and it's not going to stop you. So come up with an action plan to pay off your debt. And you can have small, simple goals, what you can pay weekly, what you can pay bi-weekly or monthly, but come up with little small action plans and stick with it. They're not going to tell you no. They're not going to say, no, we can't accept this.
Right.
Come up with a small action plan, clear up that debt, pay it off. All right. I've been having to do that for a while now. And in the beginning, I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can honestly say I can now see the light at the end of the tunnel. And here again, one of my debts that I'm trying to pay off, they have now come back to me and said, oh, okay, you've made X amount of payments on time with these minimum amounts. We are now willing to accept da 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 da. I'm like, wow.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
that happens. So you get in good standing, then that's something that can happen for you. So, but yeah, you want to try to get in the habit of the mindset of paying off your debt. Just because it's there doesn't mean it needs to be there.
Let
All
me
right.
ask you
So
this, Val.
yes. Mhm.
So did you use either one of the snowball or the avalanche methods?
I'm not too familiar with the avalanche method. What is the avalanche method?
Okay. Well, the snowball. Let me do the snowball first. The snowball is where
Mhm.
you take the smallest debt
And
and
then
then
go up.
pay it. Yeah, and pay it off, and just pay the minimum payments on all your others while you're
Mm-hmm,
doing
hmm.
that, so you can
Okay.
knock that one out and then
Hmm.
go to the next one and next one. And then the avalanche is where you start with the one that has the highest interest rate, because that's doing you the most damage.
No, ma'am. So I'm glad that you gave us those two terms because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just paying off myself. So I utilized
Okay.
the snowball.
Okay.
I paid off
Okay.
because I heard of that conversation. I went to a seminar and they were
Okay.
talking, giving you details on how to pay off. So I started off with the smallest debt that I had,
Okay.
and I just paid it off.
Okay.
Smallest debts. And then as I got to my larger debts, those are when I made the calls to find out what is the minimum they would take and what type of plan would they
Do
could put me on.
okay.
So that's when
Okay.
all the conversation came in. So
Okay.
that's how I started with mine. Now I do, when you said the avalanche effect about the highest interest rate, that does make sense to me. But then
Hmm.
I would say, um, whatever's most when you're paying off your debt, whatever is most important to that person at that time, whatever is most doable at that
Okay.
time. Either you call it the snowball effect or the
Avalanche.
avalanche effect.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So
And
whichever
so, okay, okay. And so that's good to know. But
one.
but whatever you do, have a strategy.
Yes.
Have a strategy. Don't just be
Hmm.
all willy-nilly,
Yes.
just all over the place. But yeah, have
Hmm.
a strategy so you can look at it and see
Hmm.
your progress, because
Yes.
that keeps you motivated when you
That's
see
true.
progress, doesn't it, Val?
That's true. And I do believe because I attended that seminar, that's what
Hmm.
really got me to thinking and coming up with my strategy because there
Exactly.
was someone there to guide me and direct me as to what, I'm not telling you to do this, but these are some
Options.
suggestions. And
Yes.
so that's what got it. And then so I have everything, I keep up with everything that I'm doing. I keep
Hmm.
up with every letter, every email, every phone call,
Hmm.
every payment, everything, keep everything because you don't want nothing coming back at you
No,
saying that,
no.
no, you owe us this. No, ma'am, no, sir. Okay.
Mm-mm. Hmm.
All right. So yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
pay off that debt, guys. Pay it off.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And let me just say this, because we had talked about savings. I'm going to tell you guys something, because right now, the government, different organizations in the government are being cut. And the
Mhm.
FDIC is one that they're cutting, and that's in guaranteeing your money up to $250,000 that you have in the bank. So if the bank folds, like Silicon Valley, if the banks if the banks fold, if you are in one of those banks and the FDIC has been cut, if you have up to $250,000 in the bank, you might be SOL.
Mm.
So the what's recommended at this point, now that we know, if you have a credit union, or if you don't have a credit union, open a credit union account.
Mhm.
Because the credit union is insured by the NCUA, and that's for credit unions. That has nothing to do with the FDIC.
Mhm.
So if you have your money, you can transfer your money. If you get your money in a bank right now on your paycheck or whatever, transfer it over to your credit union account and let it stay there, because they can't, that if the credit union, and the credit union, just think about it, because the government, the banks are owned by the banks, by
Mhm.
corporations, whoever owns that, and then the government is insuring it with FDIC. The credit unions are normally owned by the customers.
True.
Yeah, so we are the owners of the credit
Mhm.
union.
Mhm.
So, that our credit union accounts are safe.
Mhm.
So go ahead and transfer that, because you see the climate we're in, and we don't want anybody losing their hard-earned and saved money.
Right.
Okay, so invest wisely. So, talking about these investments. So, it's important to have diversified investment
Mhm.
portfolios, and
Mhm.
that's going to balance your risk. So, you can work with someone, or now it's so easy to do our own investments, you guys. Back in the day, they had to hire a financial uh, yeah, I know, of advisor to advise you on the stocks to buy. And that's really for people who are extremely wealthy, because they don't have time for it, and they don't even mind paying those high fees for them to
Right.
tell them. They sit and watch the market all day, and they tell them what the trends are, and blah blah blah, and buy
Mhm.
this and buy that, and they're like, okay, cool, pay me
Mhm.
$1,000 for telling you that. So,
Mhm.
but we can't do that, because we don't have that. That's $1,000 we could put in our high interest savings account.
Right.
So, but what we can do is we can educate ourselves, and like if we have a Charles Schwab, Fidelity, a TD
Mhm.
Ameritrade. I think Charles Schwab bought TD Ameritrade, so those are one and the same now at this point.
Mhm.
And even if you have a Robinhood
Yeah.
or a Acorns, um, then you can go ahead and do that yourself. You just have to educate yourself on what you're doing now, so you don't
Mhm.
take too many risks.
Mhm.
But you can do that, and you can do those investments. Just make sure you have a diversified portfolio, and just having good stocks in place for to help you balance out the inflation that we're tackling now, because it's not going down. It's probably going to go up even more.
Right.
And I've heard a lot of people talking about the price of eggs. We've been joking about the price of. Some people have said they've seen them $10 a dozen.
Oh, I've seen them.
Have you? Oh my
I've
God!
seen them over at Eden Fresh Market over by my house. There,
Yes.
the eggs are, well, I'll say they're 8.99. 8.99 for 12. A dozen of eggs,
For a
8.99.
dozen of eggs.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
That
ma'am.
is so sad.
I put the grocery store name out there. Lord, I hope it don't get back to me, but
I know, but that is so sad. That's so sad. And it's
Mhm.
not just them. I mean, that's why, it's not anything on the grocery store, because it's a lot of grocery stores. I've heard a lot of people say that they've seen them, in different places.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
it's going up.
I know. And then real estate and other assets.
Yes.
So if you own your home, consider whether downsizing or tapping into your home's equity um, is a good idea for you. I do not recommend, and I'm a real estate broker. I do not recommend reverse mortgages. They are an option, You know, they are an option. If
Mhm.
you have equity in your home, if you own your home right outright, they're good for people who need them. And I'll tell you who needs
Mhm.
them. People who are
Mhm.
really, really low income and cannot make their ends meet,
Yeah.
and they have a ton of equity in their home, or they own their home outright.
Mhm. Mhm.
And Social Security is not enough for them to live on. They need more money. So, and they're elderly. So, because the way the reverse mortgage works is they pay you monthly, you know, from using your equity as the security. They pay you a monthly amount. So they're reversing the mortgage. Instead of you paying them, they're paying you because you got the equity. Now, where it comes into being tricky is now you do that until you are no longer here.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when you're no longer here, the family has the option at that point to buy the home back from the bank. They have to buy the home back from the bank. And if they don't, then the bank owns it outright.
Okay.
So if that's an option and that works for you and your family, then a reverse mortgage could do that, could work for you. But if you're not willing to give the house up even after the person has passed on, and the family wants to keep it and maybe sell it for themselves or whatever, but they're
Mhm.
not able to buy it back from the mortgage company, that's not going to be a good deal for them. So,
Okay.
and also another way to invest in real estate. I don't want to be anybody's landlord, so I'm not investing in rental properties, you know, to be a landlord. But what I do is I invest in real estate investment trusts. So
Mhm.
my real estate in my stock, I buy real estate investment trusts, and I told you that I like Simon and
Mhm.
GNL, and so I own portions of those shopping malls and strip malls. And so that's a way that I'm investing in real estate and just focus on the
Mhm.
strategies of, understanding the savings landscape,
Mhm.
investing. Savings is going to be at this age for 50 plus, savings, emergency fund is our
Right.
best friend. And we need to strive to have 3 to 6 months of savings.
Yes.
So because I know for a fact I had I had a real estate closing that was set up last year. It was really good. It was really good, guys. It was a $19,000 commission. I was so excited. I was going to pay off all my little credit cards and buff up my savings account and everything. And it turned out this was a small little builder who didn't actually categorize the townhomes according to what he was supposed to have done for the county. So he categorized them as duplexes instead of single family. They had to be redone. And they told us the county might not even get out there to redo them by the end of the year. So my client decided to terminate. And then after that, and that was my plan for paying off my credit cards
Mhm.
and buffing up my savings. After that, I got laid off from a job, y'all. I'm like, "Oh, this is a great year. It's gonna be a fantastic Christmas." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But that's the attitude. That's the mindset we have to
You
have,
gotta
y'all.
have it. Yes.
Gotta
Mhm.
have it. And
Mhm.
then we have to just go into, and this is why options, resources, and tips and tricks are so helpful in this community,
Mhm.
because we have options, and then we can look at it and say, okay, how am I going to fix this? You
Mhm.
know, and then we go to work on that. But
Mhm.
anyway, so what happens to us also, our savings, I said all that to say, our savings will be our best friend.
Exactly. Always think about the solution
Yes.
opposed to what the problem at hand. Think about that solution all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. All right, guys. We hope that we have enlightened you on some good little tips. But what I want to start telling you about right here
Mm.
before we end, though, is this little challenge is a printable document that you see it?
Yes. If you can move it over just a little bit, there you go.
Okay. It's a printable document. It's a 52-week savings tracker, guys. and it gives you the amount that you need to save, and for each week. And the challenge, it goes up to week 52. And I have one listed for each one of my banks. This is actually one of my credit unions. I have 3 credit unions and 2 banks. So yeah, and I wanted to save like this for each one of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to do the banks anymore. I'm going to do the credit unions.
Right.
But we can send this to everyone, because if you're starting at ground zero,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with it, if you're starting at
Mm-hmm.
ground zero, you're starting, and that's the key. So I'm going to put the link to this in the chat, and everybody can get that, and just download that. And if you need to start from scratch, but get something started so you can save. You can start saving.
That's important. Thank you for that. That's going to help a lot of people. I'm sure it's needed for a lot of people. So Cynthia's giving you tips. She's giving you great tips as to how to save if you do not have, even if you have them, the 401k resources, even if you have it or not, this is still an additional way, an extra way of saving. And I like the fact that you stated that you're doing that for each account that you have.
Yes, for
That's
every account.
Yeah, that's more for you in the long run. That's more for your savings, more for your retirement in the long run. So that's really good to do that.
Yes. And if you don't know if you have a 401k, you might be working a part-time job or even a full-time job that you never even thought about it. I talked to someone who did not know he had a 401k.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him if he had a 401k. And he said, I don't know. I don't think I do, but let me check. He checked
Mm-hmm.
with HR. He had a 401k. They had enrolled him in the 401k. He didn't even realize it. And he had like almost $1,500 in there.
And didn't know.
And now it's up to like 3,000 something. Y'all, if you got money out there, check with your HR. Make sure you got if you're in your 401k and you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys.
Now let me tell you this really quickly. Remember,
Okay.
I think you told me about this. Like you can check to see if you have money out there somewhere. I forgot exactly where it was.
Yes, for
You
the
sent it to me,
state.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
from the state. So when you told me that, I went to check. I'm like, okay, so I do have some money out there. I had 3 different last names. So under 3 different last names, I had
Okay.
money out there. So
Okay.
and I received those checks. I
I
received those.
know.
So and what I did, I started telling other family members and other
Mm-hmm.
friends. And you guys, I had this one friend that she had a total of $1,100 out there. It may sound
See.
small to you, but when you need it, it's there.
No.
She had
Yes.
$1,100, and she was like, "Oh my God, I would have never known about it." So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
always a good thing too, to check to see you just made not only just your jobs and past jobs, but just
Mm-hmm.
you may have that money out there.
Unclaimed money, and that's for
Mhm,
your state. Unclaimed money,
mhm,
and yeah, because I found like 5 money,
mhm.
and so do that, guys, because what is happening is the state is holding on that money, and they're just earning interest off your money.
Yes.
Nothing, it's not going anywhere, but they're
Mhm.
getting interest off of it. So get your money. Don't leave anything on the table. Thanks for telling us that, Belle.
Yeah, get your money, honey.
Mhm. I know that's right.
All money is good money at this point.
All money is good money, especially when it's yours. Okay. All right, y'all. Have an amazing day. And thanks for stopping in. And yeah, fourth
Got to give
quarter
them their word.
strategy. Yes. Oh, you do, Val. Thank you,
Your
girl.
word first, dear God. Got to give you your word.
Yes, yes.
January 25th. This is coming from my women's devotional Bible today, guys.
Okay.
January 25th, worthy one, Revelations 5 and 9. Worthy are you to take the scroll and to open its seals, for you were slain, and by your blood you ransomed people for God from every tribe and language and people and nation. So Jesus is the worthy one, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Every tribe, every language, every people, and every nation are offered the same prayer of his redemption. Just remember that, to remind you that everyone
Okay.
is worthy of the same prayer. Everyone is worthy of the same living God. And everybody just have the best blessed day ever. Okay?
Oh, thank you, Val. Y'all have a
Thank
great one. Bye.
you. Bye-bye.